Hello again, beautiful people, for another episode of season two. So, this video is courtesy of a dear friend of mine. Her name is Katie Johnson, and she's a very successful lifestyle and travel businesswoman. And I come to respect her very much. And I was talking to her the other day, and she gave me some ideas about what this video could be about, and I want to address those issues. And they are three things: finding good in everything, developing a positive mindset, and worrying less and coping with it better. But before I continue, everything in this video and every video I've ever made and everything you'll experience in life won't happen for you unless you have a desire to want to make a change. Okay, a true deep down desire to want to make a change. There's no coach out there who can train an athlete beyond their desire to achieve something. Okay, so if you have that desire, fantastic. And if you feel that within yourself you don't, that's okay too. You can contact me. You don't have to have a desire for it to begin with. It may not be for you, but if you do want to, you can contact me in the messages below, and we can work on it together so we can have that desire. But that's the key. So let's moving forward. Finding the good in everything. Napoleon Hill said it so well when he said that we can profit from any experience in life if we will just adjust ourselves to it. I'm reminded of a great story of a battleship, and I'm not sure if you've ever heard this story or if you're aware, but on the seas, hierarchy of who gives way to whom is based on size of ship. So the bigger the ship, you have right of way over smaller ships. But with the Navy vessels, even a small Navy vessel has right of way over a large commercial passenger liner or something like that, or an oil tanker. So the rule of thumb is that the battleship, the largest of ships, generally speaking, nowadays might be aircraft carrier, but back in the day, battleships were the king of the ocean, and they moved for no one. And sometimes in life, we're so we if we feel fearful about what life is about, we might grab onto something and cling to it. It may be right or it may be wrong, but we just cling to it so securely, and then we refuse to budge in life. We just hold on to this idea, and we refuse to let go and go, no, we're right. Life has to move around me. And so this story is about what perils that can lead to. So the story goes, there's the battleship with its captain on board, traveling along, and this is the old days, like the 1900s, where there used to be like a guy up in the crow's nest, they call it, and he'd sort of look out for icebergs or other ships and call out commands back down to the bridge. And he sees a Morse code being flashed to him at night, and it says, you're on a collision course, you move. And so he calls down to the bridge where the captain is, says, oh, we've been told to move. And the captain just says, boy, you tell him to move. So the little boy, he sends out the message in the Morse code, tap, 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 you move. And then the message comes back, no, you move. So he tells the captain, he's saying, no, we move. And this captain, is looking around at the crew and thinking, this guy must be crazy. And he tells him, you tell him I'm a captain, he moves. So he sends the message, I'm a captain, you move. The answer comes back, you move. Doesn't, like, he just disregards the fact he's the captain. So he tells the boy he's still telling us to move. At this point, the captain loses his shit. He comes outside, he looks up the boy on the crow's nest, and he says, boy, you tell him I'm a battleship, he moves. And the answer come back, I'm a lighthouse. Now, see, sometimes what can happen is no matter how big or true we think our beliefs are, if it's not based on reality, it doesn't fit in with reality and truth, we will be like that battleship. We will simply just destroy ourselves on the truths of life. And I experienced this once where I had treated someone badly, and I wrestled with it for a long time, and I was like, nah, you're right, they were wrong, they shouldn't have done this, and maybe they shouldn't have done those things, and I was justifying it, but I only did this because they did that. And for a long time I was in pain because I was at war with myself, because the truth was I didn't need to do that bad behavior, and I was justifying it to myself. That was the truth. And because I was not willing to bend to the truth, I was in constant pain. And it was only when I got to the point where I just took a big sigh and went, let's see what I contributed to this, and owned my mistakes, where suddenly I was able to let the pain go. And often in life, that's what happens. We're only experiencing pain as long as we're not able to accept the truth. Maybe someone betrayed you, or maybe you lost someone in an accident or whatever. And as long as we resist that, we experience pain. But once we've accepted it and we adjust to it, we're free. Moving on to the next part, developing a positive mindset. I often think the thing about this is we've forgotten to say thank you. That's it. Positive mindset exists in those people who are grateful. Gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. And you've got so much. I mean, you can wake up and just say thank you for being alive. When was the last time you said thank you just to be able to see? Do you know how many people in the world wish they could see? or hear or taste something or have the ability to walk or remembering, oh, one of the worst things I've ever experienced in my life is going to a family member who has Alzheimer's or has dementia and they look at you and they don't know who you are, and it is heartbreaking. And when was the last time you said thank you for just to remember stuff? I think it's worse than cancer. I've been with family members who had cancer, and I've been with family members who had dementia. And I tell you what, when my time comes, I don't want dementia. I'd have anything except dementia. I don't want to put my family through that. So thank you, just to remember, for being able to care about something, to love someone or be loved, or have goals or have your imagination. Like, if you started in the morning saying thank you, you'd still be going in the evening. But when we forget this, our mindset becomes one of negativity, because we're no longer saying thank you. We don't realize how lucky we are, even though we are. And we walk down the path of entitlement or negativity. We just think that everything's out to get us, and it puts us in a very negative mindset. And I think the most important thing to have a positive mindset is start by saying thank you. And here's a little quick exercise that I do that's changed my life. Every morning when I wake up, I find 3 things to say thank you for. And it just puts me in a great headspace. And even if that wasn't true, do you think the rest of my day is going to be more successful because I'm in that positive mindset? Of course it is. Of course it is. There's so many benefits. Am I going to be a happier person to be around? Yes. Are people going to be more likely to work with me towards something? Of course. So there's so many benefits in it. But the most important thing is it puts you in a positive frame of mind. Let's move on to the last one. Worrying less. I think worrying comes from, this is just my experience, okay? It could be different for everyone else, but I think worrying comes from the fear that somehow you're not enough. That if whatever's happening now, whatever might happen, it's usually that one in the future, somehow you're not going to be able to handle it, and it fills you with fear, because if you can't handle it, you won't be good enough, and if you're not good enough, you can't be accepted, and if you're not accepted, you can't be loved, and if you can't be loved, there's nothing like it just snowballs into this effect, and that's often, even if we don't know it consciously, that's what we're thinking subconsciously. And the question shouldn't be like, why do some people worry? I think the question should be, why doesn't everyone on earth live in a state of worrying? Have you wondered that? Like, how is it some people are peaceful no matter what's going on in their life? They've got the same challenges, the same setbacks, same everything, and yet they live in peace. Why aren't they worried? And it can be different for each person, but I think basically they've come to realize how strong they really are. They've put themselves out there in situations and they got through it, and they turned around and looked back and went, wow, I did that. And they go, what else can I do? And they do it again and again, and the challenge gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And yet they don't even just, this is the great thing, you don't just come out the other side of that challenge and you survived. You're stronger, you're smarter, you're tougher, you're wiser, you're better. And you go through another challenge and you grow more and become stronger and smarter. And you put through, and you suddenly realize, wow, one, there's unlimited potential in me. And secondly, every challenge actually is just, I take that challenge, put it in me, I grow and I grow and I grow. And you stop seeing, things that used to worry you. You're like rubbing your hands now going, I want to take that on, because on the other side of it is massive success. I think that's, just speaking from my life experience, that's been the key to worrying less about things. Also, guys, I'm gonna on that one. I got this funny video I saw. Aussie Man Reviews. If you've never heard of him, he's great. He showed this video of a herd of cattle being basically beaten up by a goose. And I think sometimes, like, when people don't realize how tough they are, they're like the cow in this video, where there's a small challenge and they just think they can't do it. But some people are the goose. Some people are surrounded by things that are way bigger and stronger and tougher, and they just don't know what they can't do it, and head on, and they succeed. Often life gets out of the way of the person that just says, I don't care anymore, I'm going to do it. Life tends to get out of the way of that person. Lastly, I'm going to leave the information for, if you are interested in travel. I mean, I know it's hard right now, COVID and everything, but if you are interested in travel, and she's still doing great business, so things are happening. I'm going to leave the details for Katie Johnson's Instagram and her Facebook, so you can get in contact with her. Lovely girl, if you'd like to just hit her up. And I think she also runs some kind of entrepreneurial business from that as well. So if you want to go that avenue and maybe just ask about the business, because she's still making money now. So if you're having some financial setbacks, maybe this is a lady to see, to help you get your finances and your direction back. All right, with that, guys, God bless. Take care.